Hello everybody, John here again, and today onto the garage we're doing something that is a secret of the XK8, yay, but is also a little bit of a whodunit. This one has wholeheartedly been inspired by Peter Strachan, who's one of our subscribers from Guernsey, I believe. Apologies if I get that wrong, Peter. And Peter actually suggested this as a secret of the XK8, said, do you know about this? And it's an extra feature on the lock-in mechanism for the boot. And the true answer is yes, I did know about it. However, I've never shown it as a secret, despite pointing the camera at it several times, because if I'm absolutely honest, I can't explain it. I've got no idea of the rationale for it being there, any possible function, or is more likely why Jaguar chose to use a parts bin part from a Ford product that has a feature that you can't access, therefore making it more expensive to manufacture, you'd imagine, and that in the worst circumstance somebody accidentally uses. This will make lots of sense any minute now. Anyway, this is Peter's secret very much, so in your honour, sir. So we're going to crack on. If you want to follow along, then you only need a Phillips or crosshead screwdriver and a trim lifter to do the same thing as I'm doing now. Okay, so just to orientate you guys, you're inside the boot, you're looking back towards me. I'm at the back of the car, touching the exhaust at the moment. So what we need to do is remove this panel that covers the lock in order to have this discussion. Unfortunately, it's got a few other things attached to it. So first thing is you just take out your boot floor, and if like me you've got the separate boot floor and battery cover, you need to take your battery cover out as well. Next you need to remove these riv screws, or scrivets as they're actually called, from the back panel. They're all plastic. What you're going to do is just turn the Phillips head screwdriver without pressing down. Resist the temptation to press down, because it's like a button and you can push this straight back in. So if you press down on the screwdriver, there's no way it's going to unscrew. You've got to just get it moving and gently turn it. Oops. Going to get me a sharper screwdriver, I think. Once you've got the little middle section out, the plastic screw, then the rest of it is like a floppy roll plug or rivet, and will come out really easily. Again, the only trick is not pressing down. The weight of the screwdriver is all you need. And there's two on the other side. Once they're out, you can get a trim tool or any other form of lever. You can put a screwdriver under if you want, but carefully don't scratch everything to bits, and just lift out these little expandable rivets. Once you've got those out, then the rest of this panel is just held in by some push rivets, or fir tree clips if you like, in here, and two on the opposite side. So should be able to get your fingers behind it. Oops, there goes one of my fir trees. And when we talk about a fir tree, it's, come on, focus, one of these sorts of things. There we go. just a push-in barbed plastic pin. It has no features on the head, so pushing it in, pulling it out is all it needs. Because they're recessed, you can't actually get your fingers behind them, so you just have to work the trim panel and give it a tug. See if we can prise this one out using this tool or not. It's gripping rather firmly. Got it. Okay, and that is that released. Now just be a little careful when you're pulling this off, because you have got a light in the boot here which is still wired up. There we go. Along this area there's no exposed trim fittings, but there are 4 metal clips pushed into the bodywork, into holes. So as you pull this away, basically giving it a good wriggle, and you should feel them pop. I'll show you the back when it's off. There we go. And I'm just going to take the wires off the boot lights, just so that you know I'm not going to pull the wiring about. There we go. And there's one of the metal clips that are along there, and there's 4 of those. One of them stayed in the car in mine, so I'll take that back out. So now we are into the infamous boot lock. And there's a few things to point out at this stage where I'm definitely repeating myself, but got to be done. The boot on an X100 Jaguar is like a vault. If you can't get into it through the proper means, you're going to really struggle to get in without basically cutting a hole in your boot lid. So this is operated electrically, and you should make sure it works off the button on the dashboard. You should make sure it works off your remote control. If either of those fail, you go fix it. It is also operable using the secret keyhole in the back of the car. Check out the I think it's Secrets of the XK8 episode 1 if you want to see about that, and that mechanically opens this latch. If all 3 are jammed, broken, and you slam the boot, there are ways of getting in, but most of them involve an angle grinder. Anyway, let's move on. So what's this crazy feature or hidden feature that we've been talking about that Peter has shared? It's this button. It's, well, I say button, it's a little rubber sleeve pushed over a bent piece of the lock mechanism. And that is naturally, should be always, in the up position. When you press it down like so, then on the dashboard and remote control features of the boot lock will no longer work. Okay, so I don't know how successful this is going to be as a visual, but let's give things a go. So the boot lock is here. I can operate it manually and effectively lock the boot as if the boot lid has been shut and slammed by pressing down hard enough with my screwdriver. don't fool yourself into thinking that this wire operates the lock. It doesn't. That is your boot light switch. So again, we've covered that in other episodes. The boot light is in the lock mechanism. So what I'm going to do is the red button is where it should be, in the up position. I'm going to lock the boot. There we are. Hopefully you heard that. It's fully locked. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my remote control, and using the boot opener, I'm going to open the lock. And there you go, no problem at all. That is exactly the same as having pressed the button on the dashboard, so that works fine. Also, if I relock the mechanism, whoops, there you go. So we are locked. What I'm doing now, and obviously out of shot, is I'm putting my key into the secret keyhole on the back of the car, and I'm turning that, and the boot opens. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to push this button down. Bear in mind, we've had to disassemble part of the car to do this, so this is not a user accessible item. I've now put it in the down position. What happens now is, if I relock the boot, which I'm able to do, it doesn't prevent me from locking it, and now I press the button on my remote to unlock it. You hear the mechanism, as in the servo, working, but nothing unlocks, and the button on the dashboard won't unlock it either. Fortunately, the completely mechanical system using the key will put the key in a hole, turn the key now, still unlock it. But as we've learnt through a lot of the comments, very often people's mechanical key operated system is broken, jammed, for whatever reason does not work, and they only find that out when they need it. So first thing you should do after this video is go and check that your key will mechanically open your boot. If it doesn't, start working towards getting that to work. It is your emergency access to this. Anyway, back to the button. Some of you might think, that's the valet system. That's how the valet system works. No, there is no electric way of operating this button, this lever. It doesn't move when you press the valet button on the dashboard, anything like that. This is purely mechanical. Up, good. Down, bad. Do not want down. So Peter, who sent this in as a secret, he knows about this for one of the few really valid reasons, if you like, which is he bought the car. It had obviously had some work, some restoration, trim had been moved around, whatever. When he got the car, the boot lock did not operate using the electric systems. It only worked using a mechanical key. Peter took the trim panels off, discovered the little button, moved it to a different position, and hey presto, everything works. Which in his case means what's happened is whoever took the panel off last, or maybe changed the lock or changed the switch, because these fail, moved this or didn't know what it was for, etc, etc, and it got reassembled in the bad down position, up good position. And that's why A, he had a problem, and B, he knows all about this. So it is a very intriguing little secret, the XK8. I want to know from you guys, for the same reasons I said at the beginning. I've never shared this because it's like, yeah, it's a secret, I've no idea what it's for, or I've no idea why. Somebody will know, somebody probably who's worked for Jaguar, I would imagine. Why is it there? Or is it just a hangover from the lock that they used on this car? If so, what was its function in the original? And surely this is an overly elaborate system that makes it a lot more expensive. Why would you have it? Why would you not use something cheaper? There are lots and lots of locks out there. It's just a simple latch that grabs hold of a pin. It basically does that, and it's operated via two rods, one coming from a servo, one coming from the key. Most boot locks look like that. Why use this? So it's a secret of the XK8 with a side twist of who done it or why they do it. If you know the answers, please let us know. If you've enjoyed this video, then consider subscribing to the channel because it's free. It costs you literally nothing. And we have 1 or 2 videos most weeks that are either sharing secrets of the XK8, mod and maintain on this, looking at either the Volkswagen T4 or the Volkswagen T2, both undergoing restoration, repair and overhaul, or just meddling around in the garage looking at tools, inventions, making bits and pieces. Come and join our little community. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. If you've got suggestions for secrets of the XK8, then don't be shy, send them in. If you want to send a video clip, I'll put it online for you. But if you're going to do that, make it landscape if you can, or just send me the secret as an idea. And if it's legal and honourable to share, then I'll have a look at filming it for you. So, see you again soon.